We're here on livestream.com/JiggyJaguar, and we're also on KJAGradio.com. And on some terrestrial radio stations locally. I don't know how this happens. It's engineer malfunction. It's something, and somehow they point to us. But I'm Jigman Freud, the master debater, the cunning linguist, the admiral of alliteration, and I'm here with Gallagher, the one and only, the original, and still the best. What's going on, my friend?
Well, I'm sitting here with a linguist. I had no idea. I
didn't know you were a nuclear physicist.
But I didn't know that you were a wordsmith. This is what intrigues me. Ooh, intrigue. That's a French word.
Exactly.
I'm trying to get French words out of my mouth. I just don't like how it makes me feel to say fiancé. It's it's gay. If it's not a pig, it's gay. And we ought to have an Anglo-Saxon word, English word, tribal type word with K's and T's to say is the person you're about to marry and have sex at a bulk rate. That
sex at a bulk rate.
That's what a man thinks.
That's what we hope.
So you could call her your Costco. This here's my Costco. And you need a basket that big for how big their butt's going to get.
That's right.
But I've been married twice, and I've seen it happen.
Now, you're on the road. You're going across this great land of ours.
And I'm seeing French everywhere I go.
Everywhere you go. French fries, everything.
Restaurant, cafe, buffet, cabaret, on the boulevard or the avenue or a cul-de-sac. Even Home Depot.
Home Depot
has a T there, and them French people are afraid of consonants.
Really?
I'm talking to a linguist.
Of course.
They can't wait to put an extra. In fact, I was watching the Spelling Bee, the National Scripts Spelling Bee.
Oh, we love that.
And it was always a French word that knocked the kids out. They'll put an X at the end. You're supposed to ignore it, or put an E there, and you're not supposed to say it. But earlier in the word, it's an A. I think this is why Mexicans can't learn English, because there's so much French in it. What?
No.
Are we having a rendezvous or what? We're having a tete-a-tete. Listen to how many French expressions you use every day. Carte blanche.
Carte blanche. I use that all the time.
Don't you? How else do you say nonchalant? We just don't have a word for being that loosey-goosey, do we?
Loosey-goosey, but that's not really.
That's what English people like. We like rhymes like dream team. We have to put another word with it.
Yes.
That rhymes a lot. That's why Tricky Dick got to be president, because his name went that way. They didn't even care if he was tricky. It rhymed with Dick so good. That was back in the time of the Smothers Brothers. Right? And Wavy Gravy. And it was the space race. Do you see what I'm saying?
See?
This is what happens in America. And then you're strong. What about that girl whose name rhymes? Montana, Hannah Montana, and her dad had a hit because
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Because those two achy breaky hard. Do you see the strength in the double rhyme? I'm a linguist also, aren't I?
I also hear that you study nuclear. You're like a nuclear physicist or an amateur nuclear physicist. I'm interested
in everybody being able to know the risks that they are taking when they use electronics. We're just now thinking about the cell phone getting into your brain because you put it by the hole by your ear. And anything, I want people to know the difference between a photon. You know, I go to the Consumer Electronics Show every year.
Yes, we always interview somebody on the radio show from there every year.
Well, I was in the Sharp Electronics booth, and there was all those VPs with nothing to do and standing around wanting to have a picture taken with me, and it attracted the CEO's attention. He came over, and while we had everybody standing in a row, like you would tell a dirty joke then, everybody holding a drink, you say, do you know what carries a cell phone message to your cell phone, an electron or a photon? And the CEO says, I'll guess. And I said, I win. You're guessing. You don't know.
You don't know.
And it's your business. Electronics. They all pick electron. People think they're being hit by lightning. instead of photons. The light that goes in your eye, talk about being exposed to your brain. There's holes right there where your eyes are that go straight to a sensitive part of your brain, the upper part of your brain. The sophisticated part of your brain is behind your eyes. That's right. They're just photons. But if you wiggle them really fast, they can crack your DNA just like an electron.
Just like an egg?
Well, if it has mass, then force equals ma. There's that m you can multiply times the velocity and get a big force.
That's way above my pay grade.
No, there were only 3 letters in that. F equals ma. That's what E equals mc squared is. There's the E and the m and the a right there.
Now, I understand that you're out and about, you're smashing things. We got some tweets from people. Are you on the Twitter?
No.
Do you do Twitter
if I get on
Facebook
there, then you
that?
can't talk about me. No, I'm... I don't want to go to that gossipy cocktail party. They can just talk about me.
Well,
I can't do it because it seems French. It's just if they... It's just...
Twitter is French to you.
Oh, it's just ballet.
Facebook is friend feed, all this, MySpace, it's all French to you.
Well, that getting together and having a cocktail party and not telling the truth, you never say, well, I'm having sex with this little girl right here. You say, I want you to be my protege. Wink, wink.
Hey.
And then they're never having
I
sex.
talk about my Latin intern all the time. And
what do you say?
I say, well, I'm hanging out with my intern on the couch. What do you think that means?
Well,
fill in the blanks, Gallagher. Come on, keep up, brother.
To use a French word, you're being vague. You're saying both things at the same time. That's a spoon fork, like a Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's kind of a spoon and kind of a fork.
There's a sporks.
Well, that's what French is all about. It's a mirage. It's not the thing, it's the reflection. It's a silhouette. It's not the thing, it's the outer shadow. It's ambiance, things you can't put your finger on. That's French, and the language of politics, because that's what you have to be in politics, is a spoon fork. You have to be a shade of gray, and that's why we got Obama.
What do you think of Sarah Palin botching that Paul Revere thing the other day? Or she said Paul Revere was here basically to warn the British about gun rights or something.
Look, she is a sex symbol. And nothing is sexier.
Hey, they often tell me I'm sexier than John McCain, so.
Nothing is sexier than a dumb broad. When she's stupid, it just makes me wonder all the more.
I want to bring that word back, broad.
Well, I wanted to say something else, but
okay, go, jump in there.
No, I'm not going to call her a dumb bitch.
Okay. And you didn't. Now, we got, or my original question was, we got a tweet from a listener by the name of Vic Draculich, who I've never heard of before. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But if I didn't, well, that's fine. His question is, he doesn't understand Gallagher. He just smashes things and tells jokes. What's the point of Gallagher? So I'm asking you for him. So respond to the tweet that I got. Check the tweets, as they say.
All right. I'm not going to say what I think. I'm going to tell you what I've been told.
Okay.
And people tell me the last time they were at my show, it was the funnest time they ever had. Now, how can I let them people down? By stopping, going around, doing shows. It's not my opinion. It's their opinion that's important because they're paying for drinks.
Okay.
And they want to have the funnest time. Now, I'll tell you this. If you laugh at dirty jokes for an hour and a half and then smash a bunch of food, about $100 worth, you leave laughing. You had a good time. It's the ending that you need for a show. Something spectacular and not about anything. We've already talked about things, and now we're just going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So it's a cocktail party it's like people. First you walk up to the girl and you act really smart, and then later on you're drunk and you're making dog positions. I mean...
Good Lord.
Well, I just assume.
Now, tonight you're performing here at the Muse Ballroom here in the great city of Salina, Kansas. And You got in here a little bit earlier. Did you get a chance to check out the room? What do you do these things like these musicians who come in and go, I've got to know what the acoustics. They've got to have lights and fog machines and all these things. Do you care about all that crap, or is it just smashing fruit and telling jokes?
I don't want to hit anything that's going to be permanent in the building and could rot over time and would be hard to clean.
Oh, let's do it.
That is, by the way, the voice of Johnny Kim,
He said, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yes. So,
we love Johnny, and Johnny loves Gallagher. Now,
But I'm in a lot of places that have an organ that doesn't move attached to the stage, or other paintings, sculpture stuff around, fancy stuff around the stage, or just out over the audience. There's some real nice chandelier. Oh, there's another French word. What did we use to call?
You just keep walking into that, my man.
I'm telling you, it's pervasive. It's pervasive. At the theater, they spell it with a R-E instead of an E-R. On the marquee, that's French. And they have a matinee. That's an area of gray. It
That's
ain't
right.
early. Or a mezzanine. That's an area of gray. It ain't up and it ain't down. It's in between. I don't do an encore. I do the show and then no area of gray where I'm still performing. Do you see? I meet you in the foyer.
Exactly.
But I will not do an encore. You'll go out into the life and you'll say, Gallagher's right, there's French everywhere. Have you ever been in the military?
Yes, I was in there for 6 months.
Tell your... Did you have a lieutenant?
Yes.
You know what that means?
I had a petty officer, too. I don't know if that's French, but...
No, because it has T's in it, and it's quick and gets done.
That's the thing.
That's Anglo-Saxon.
I've often told people I'm half Jamaican, half idiot, and then I'm like, no, I lied. I'm just full idiot. That's not French.
Well, if you put an A on the end, they love the word idiota.
Idiota.
They love that.
That sounds Spanish to me.
Well, because I made it a girl. If you put a Z-O at the end, it's a guy. Idioto.
Now, you're all over the place. You're like a blowfish in a twine factory.
No, I'm like a candidate doing proper canvassing of the electoral to find out what people are really like and what they don't like about the government and taxes and the world.
You want to basically...
I do a better job than running around in a bus doing little photo ops. I'll tell you. You talk to people for 2 hours while they're drinking late at night, and you know them a lot better than if you just shook hands and had a picture at the shopping center.
Okay. Well,
I'm just saying I'd be a great candidate because I represent average people.
Yeah.
That's who I am.
Well,
I don't really like them other
Speaking
people.
of average people, most average people have concerns about the legalization of marijuana. What do you think about that?
I think that would be a good idea. We have too many people in the jails. In fact, I'd like to take all of the gang members out of the jails also and send them over as army.
I've often wanted to do that. Send them over to fight
They
the
want to kill
terrorists.
somebody.
That's right. I'm always afraid that if you sent the gang members over to fight the terrorists, they'd hand them weapons, and the guys in the military would hand them guns, and they'd be like, we got better stuff back in the hood. So...
Whatever way they want to arm themselves and fight. I'd rather the Arabs had to deal with our gang guys. Let them lose. They want to do it. We have skilled people in that area. And we're sending farmers and salesmen and housewives who sign up for the army. That's ridiculous. That's not an army. We need to be, we have to think this out.
You need to send stone cold killers and thugs to go fight the terrorists.
That's right.
Now,
the Crips would go to one place and the Bloods would go to a different country, or they'll be fighting
each other
before they get there. We don't want that.
We don't want that happening.
No.
Now,
we want good, vicious little pockets of killers. I don't know why we don't have that. We spend enough. Is that what the guys that got Osama bin Laden are supposed to be? A good little pocket of killers, and they let them down by a helicopter. Didn't the helicopter crash?
Yeah, one of them crashed.
Didn't we build a city to practice with?
Yes.
In Thousand Oaks, California. No, Thousand Palms. 29 Palms.
Yeah.
That's where it was. I thought, what a waste of money to build a city. Didn't they learn that when you bring your helicopter that close to a walled area that you lose lift?
Yeah.
Okay.